Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use two of the interactive features in Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. I'm going to show you how you can strike polls in your virtual room really quickly, and I'm also going to show you how you can set up breakout rooms for groups of students. So let's start with polling. Polling in Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is quite straightforward. You find your polls, or you have the ability to set up a poll, always in the same area. So within your chat box, in sort of the white panel on the right-hand side, the third icon at the bottom from the left is called Share Content. You can see I'm hovering over it now. If you click on Share Content, you have a number of different features available to you. We are particularly interested today in the bottom two. So we have polling and then finally breakout groups. Let's start with polling. When you click on the polling button, you see two options available to you. You can set up a multiple choice poll, or you can set up a quick yes/no poll. Let's click on multiple choice because that's the most complicated of the polls. When you click on multiple choice, you see that you have the opportunity to type in a question, and then you have some answer choices appear. You can always add choices. So if your multiple choice, for example, was a 3 item multiple choice, you can add a choice and continue to add as many as you would like. Now here's a tip for using polls in Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Polls cannot be saved in advance, so you always have to add your polls in the moment. So what I like to do, rather than typing polls when possible, is I like to put my polls on a slide. So you can see in the center panel on the slide, we have a poll typed up. Have you used Collaborate in the past? Yes, as an instructor, I've tinkered with it in Blackboard, and other than being a webinar participant, I've never used it before. So what that does for me is that allows me to strike a poll really quickly, because in my polling area, I actually don't have to type up a question, and I don't even have to type anything into these answers 1, 2, or 3. All I have to do is hit start, and you'll see that the participants get an option to click either 1, 2, or 3, but they can still see my poll on the slide on the board. So that makes setting up the poll much faster. So that's one of my tips. If you know you want to ask a few poll questions of your participants in your session, then put that poll on a slide, and you don't have to type so much into the polling interface. Now all participants have to do is make a particular selection. So one of the participants has chosen 1. I will choose 1 as well. Okay. And one of our participants hasn't answered. So we see that as moderators, that there's 1 no response. That's okay. When you are ready to show your responses to students, you can click this Show Responses button. What that will do is turn the poll purple, and students will see the results on their screen exactly the way you're seeing it here. Now, of course, you have the option in Collaborate Ultra to show students responses, or if you would prefer, and the poll is really just for your information, perhaps you don't want students to know how their colleagues have answered. If you do not show the results, they will not see it. They will only see the response that they've provided. Okay. At any time, you can also clear the poll. If you wanted to restart it, you could clear it here. Okay, and you can see that now there are no responses. And the other thing you could do at any moment is end the poll. So if you want to stop polling, you simply click the center button, or the square with the circle around it, and the poll disappears for all of your participants. Now if we go back to polling, and again I'll click multiple choice, again you can definitely type in here. So if you didn't have a pre-planned poll, if something suddenly came to you and you wanted to ask students a question, you could definitely type away. Right, let's make this a 4 question. Okay, and hit start. Same process. This time though, students see the entire question in the polling box. And again, they're able to select the appropriate answer. Okay, we'll repeat that again. If you wanted to show students the responses, you would click Show Response. The poll will turn purple and they will see all of the answers of their colleagues as well as themselves. Now in the polling system, you do not know which student selected what. So the polling system is completely anonymous. And so you cannot tie any particular response to a specific student. Also, the polling feature does not record results of the polls. So this data is not stored anywhere. So that's just something to be aware of in the event that you're thinking, oh, the answers to this poll would be really helpful to me. You can always take a screen grab. If a poll is done during a recorded session, the poll will appear in the recording. But if the session is not recorded, then the poll responses are not saved anywhere. Okay. And to finish the poll again, you just hit the little square with the circle around it. Students will not have that option, only you as the moderator will have that option. And the poll is gone. Okay. Let's go back to polling one more time and I'll just show you the yes/no choices. Again, this is really straightforward, but you cannot change the responses here. So we'll type another question. Are you finding this session useful? Hit start, and the interface is exactly the same. Okay. All right, we'll stop that poll. So the second interactive feature that I wanted to show you was breakout groups. Breakout groups are also available in the share content area within your sort of chat box panel that appears on the right-hand side of your screen. So again, you navigate to share content and then you can select breakout groups. So you have a few different options available to you when you enter into the breakout group area. At the top, you have 2 different ways that you can assign groups. You can either do a custom assignment or you can also do a random assignment. Now, unfortunately, because I only have 3 people in my group, it's not allowing me to do a random assignment this morning. So you'll have to trust me that when you click on this arrow, typically you'll see 2 different options. In the random assignment option, students will be automatically distributed amongst those 2 groups. They won't go there until you hit start, but their names will appear in the area under the title of Group 1 or Group 2, or again, if you struck an additional group, so added a new group, then they would be reshuffled across the additional groups. Okay, but that would happen automatically. The other option, the one that's set right now, is custom assignment. So what that means is you as the faculty member are able to assign particular individuals to particular groups. You also have the option, it's generally disabled, but you can turn it on, to allow attendees to switch groups if you think that that's appropriate for the given activity that you're doing. For now, we'll leave it off. So in custom assignment, here you can see the main room. Here are all the individuals. All of your students, if you were doing custom assignment, would be listed in this gray area of main room because we're all together right now in the main room. What you can do is you can click on any of the individuals in the room. So let's click on John. And you can then assign him to a group. So his menu is those three dots to the right of his name. And then you can add him to either group 1 or group 2, or you can create a brand new group for John. Let's assign John to group 1. Again, he won't move until we actually hit start at the bottom. So while you're doing this setup, nobody has gone anywhere. Okay? So we can again do the same with Maha, but this time we're going to send Maha to group 2. So there we have it. You could also put yourself in a group. So if you wanted to join a particular group at the start of the breakout, you could definitely select a group for yourself and head there as well. For now I won't, and I'm going to leave me in the main room. Okay. So you can see that you can add additional groups. I just did that by accident. It's really easy. The way to do it is to hit the plus button here, so you can create as many groups as you'd like. The other interesting part is you can rename the groups. So if you click on group 1, it turns into an interactive box, and you can rename the group whatever you'd like. So if you're covering particular content, if people are talking about a particular issue in that room, you can change the group name. So, that one happens now to be the climate change group. Okay. When you're ready, what you can do is you can hit start. You'll see that you get an automatic message that says you are starting the breakout groups. And you can see that it indicated that you will be in the main room. So we can continue, because I am in the main room, to see the main screen here, so the slides that were up within the main room. John's view is a little bit different. So let's join John. And we can do that really easily again by using the attendee controls. Sorry, let me go to the breakout groups area here. So share content, breakout groups. And again, we can do that really easily by joining John. So you click on those three dots by your name. We'll join John in the climate change room. We're going to hit update at the bottom. So you always have to hit update or submit. It's going to notify us that we're moving. Take a second. And then here we are with John in this room. So you can see down here, this is John's icon. Okay. And we're here with him. Now the slides that we were looking at previously are no longer here. There aren't slides automatically loaded within each of the rooms. You can go into each room and share particular content. All of the files that you had available to you in your main room are actually not loaded into the breakouts. So if you had particular files you wanted to add, you would have to go into share content, go into share files, and then add a particular file that you wanted to. Participants also have access to these features when they're in their breakout rooms. So they get elevated features in the breakout rooms. They're allowed to add files in there or share a whiteboard as well. And they automatically get their microphone and video capabilities shared with them when they're in that particular space. Okay. We again can quickly leave the breakout room by heading back to the breakout groups area. And we can click on the three buttons by our name. We can go to any other room, or we can return to the main room as well. We're going to hit update, and this will take us just a second. But you can see through the sharing content area, you can keep tabs on who is in which room, and you can very quickly move between rooms should you need to to connect with each group of students. Okay. If you want to stop the breakout at any moment, all you have to do is hit the square with the circle around it at the top of your page. Give me just a second. There it is. I clicked in the wrong area. So the square with the circle around it by the breakout groups. Okay, and that will end the breakout group session. Each participant will receive a notification that they're returning to the main room. And now if you look at their attendee panel, everyone is back with you in one central location, back in the main room. Let's do that again because I showed you the wrong icon. So I want to make sure that you know how to do this really well. So to start a breakout session, you're going to go to Share Content. When you're there, you're going to click on Breakout Rooms. Again, we're going to do a custom assignment in this case. So we're going to place each of our students into a room because we don't have the option for random assignment right now. Our group is too small. So we're going to place John in group 1 by clicking on the 3 dots near his name, and we're going to do the same thing with Maha. We're going to place her in group 2. Okay. We are going to remain in the main room as moderators, and we're going to hit start. It's going to take a second. What I wanted to show you as well is the place that you're automatically taken as a moderator, or what you see on your panel here, is actually the participants area initially. So when you strike a breakout group, you're going to see the participants window open. That allows you to keep tabs on who is in each room. Okay. From the participants area, you have some additional options. You have some attendee controls, so you can send people to, a chat message. You can also, from this area, move them to another room should you want to, and you can still continue to change their status as participants within the various spaces from this area. Okay, and again, that's your participants panel. So the 2 little heads that appear at the bottom of your chat panel there, showing you where each of the participants are. Okay, you also can very quickly from this area join various groups without having to hit update at the bottom. Okay, so this is another handy panel for you to be aware of when you strike breakout rooms. So for example, we could at the touch of a button by clicking on this little sort of door with an arrow, join group 2. Okay. So that's another option for us and a handy interface that allows you to quickly move between various groups. So now we're heading back to the main room. It's just going to take us a second. Okay. If you wanted to change anything about your particular group, then you can go back into Share Content, Breakout Groups, and again, you have a variety of options available to you here, many of them similar to that participants panel. If you make a change, however, from the breakout area, right, let's say we want to join group 2 again, now you have to hit update. Whereas if you're making it from the attendee area, you don't have to hit update. Those changes can be automatically made at the click of a button. The other thing to stop a breakout group is you just want to hit the square with the circle around it. When you hover over, it'll say End Breakout Groups. So you can do that from within either the attendee panel, or again, you can do it from within the breakout group panel. So here we're just going to click Stop. And our participants are going to rejoin us in our main room. Okay. John just lost his connection, but he'll be back in a couple of seconds. There we go. And that's how you set up polls or navigate breakout rooms in Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Hope this session has been useful.